Hi everyone, welcome to today's Legal Wednesday, where I'll be talking about beginner's guide to buying land in Kenya. If you're in a position where you want to buy land or you're intending to buy land, then this is the video for you. Let me tell you a bit about myself. I am Ruth Tanui, an advocate of the High Court of Kenya and also the founder and managing partner of Ruth Tanui and Company Advocates. In my previous video, I talked about mistakes to avoid while buying land in Kenya. If you haven't checked it out, you can go and check it out. As I stated in the previous video, when buying land, you should take your ample time. So before you sign those checks or sign that agreement, ensure the answers to the following questions that I'm going to state is yes. The first question is, have you done extensive research on the land that you intend to buy? This is very important because it will help you understand the registration and legal status of the land you intend to buy. In this situation, I would advise maybe you can get the help of an advocate of the High Court of Kenya to help you in interpreting the legal aspects. For instance, under the Kenyan land laws, it's only the citizens of Kenya who can own both the leasehold and freehold interest in land. Foreigners can only hold leasehold interest. Also, in addition to that, leasehold interest reverts back to the government after 99 years. So that means you don't have absolute ownership of the land. If you don't reapply for it after 99 years, the land automatically goes back to the government. So that's why it's important for you to do that research so that you're not going to buy land that maybe has already reverted back to the government. Also, if you want absolute interest, you should get a freehold interest. The second question you should ask yourself is, do you know where the land is located? There are people who have ended up buying land that is next to an airport, or is adjacent to a railway line, or that is adjoining a national park. Remember, if you buy land in such locations, when you want to do any construction or to use the land, you'll have to get consent from the responsible parties, which will cost you. So it is important for you to first know where the land is located. The third question you should ask yourself is, do you know the physical condition of the land that you intend to buy? Sometimes back in the news, there was a story of people who had bought land, built their houses, and during the rainy season, since that land was a waterlogged area, the houses were literally sinking. So it is very important for you to know the physical condition of the land that you intend to buy. Additionally, there are people who buy land that is rocky, and yet the intention or the purpose they are buying the land for is farming. So knowing the physical condition of the land that you intend to buy is very important. The fourth question is that, have you purchased land during the rainy season? Remember, it is only during the rainy season that you know the right state of the land that you intend to buy. So it is very important that when you're buying land, especially if it's for building a home, you buy it during the rainy season, because it is during that time that you know the state of that land. Remember, cons normally take advantage of such lands and sell them during the dry season. So ensure that you're buying land during the rainy season. The fifth question is, are you familiar with the different types of lands in Kenya? Under the Constitution of Kenya, there are 3 types of land: public land, community land, and private land. Public land is land that portrays the government as the private owner of the land. Community land is land that is community-based in a way that it's owned by a community that is from the same ethnic group. Private land is the most common types of land that is owned by a private person, and it's either leasehold tenure or a freehold tenure. The sixth question is you should ask yourself is, have you contracted the relevant professionals to help in the land buying process? This is very important, especially for beginners. Professionals are key in ensuring that you are not conned while buying land in Kenya. Some of the professionals that you use when buying land in Kenya include: 1, the advocate of the High Court of Kenya, who will help you in doing the due diligence. And due diligence, basically ensuring that you're not buying land that has already been bought or doesn't belong to the person intending to sell it to you. The second professional you'll deal with is a valuer, who will estimate the value of the land to ensure that you're not buying land way above market value. The third professional that you will deal with is the surveyor, who ensures the boundaries and the mapping of the land to ensure that you're not encroaching in someone's land. Remember, those are just a few professionals that you're going to deal with. They are not all the professionals. The seventh question you should ask yourself is, do you know who your neighbor is? Most people normally considering knowing your neighbor as very irrelevant, but it's a very important step. Remember, you after buying the land, you may realize your neighbors from both sides own nightclubs, and yet you are building a retirement home. So it's very important for you to know your neighbors. You don't have to know everything. At least have an idea of what your neighbors are all about, or what business or what are they carrying out. The eighth question you should ask yourself is, do you know if the purchase price of the land is within the prevailing market rate? This is where you'll require the help of a registered valuer who will help you in estimating the right value of the land. There are many people who have bought land way above the market price. And even though land is an appreciating asset, remember, if you have bought land way above the market price, if you are to resell that land, you are going to make a loss, or it will have to take you many more years for you to regain profit. So it is very important to secure the services of a registered valuer so that we can get the right estimation value of the land that you're intending to buy. The ninth question you should ask yourself is, do you know the user regulation of the land that you intend to buy? Yes, there are lands that come with user regulation or restrictions. So it's very important for you to know the user regulation of the land you intend to buy. Remember, if you buy a land where it's a residential place and businesses are not allowed, you'll have to get consent from the relevant stakeholders, which is normally a frustrating and a very expensive process. It is therefore very important for you to buy land that you know its restrictions or the user regulation of that area. The 10th question you should ask yourself is, do you know the services available in the place you intend to buy the land? Remember, if you want to buy a land, maybe you want to set up rentals or a business, you must first ensure that services like water and electricity are available. You don't want to buy land first, then later realize those services are not available, or maybe it will be so costly for you to make those services available to you. So ensure that when you're buying land, you have ensure that the services available will be fit for the purpose of you're intending to use that land. After confirming the answer to all these questions that I've stated is yes, you can now start the legal process of buying land, which will be in my next Legal Wednesday. So don't forget to check it out. I hope this information has been helpful. For a detailed article of the same information, you can check it out on our website, which is here on the screen. Don't also forget to follow us at our Instagram page at Law Simplified 2020, where we share Q&A Mondays on legal issues every Monday. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you in my next Legal Wednesday.